Good people of YouTube, my name is Spanner. Welcome back for some more Deathgate. Okay, so we have to do a couple of things. We have to repair the Kixie Winsy and get rid of the gods. No big deal. Just get rid of the gods, not the dogs, the gods. I also made a black shirt for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. Okay, so we check this tunnel. We can go into these two, so let's go into this one. Okay, this is the guards. Oh, it's an elf ship. Okay, it's one of the gods. He's glowing. There is a sleeping dwarf. This is a workstation of the Kixie Winsy. Obviously the job isn't too tough, or this dwarf wouldn't be asleep.
5 more minutes.
You sneak over to the sleeping dwarf and poke him. He grunts, mumbles 5 more minutes and promptly goes back to sleep. Maybe I can kick the chair. Kick. Okay. You sneak over and crack your foot against the chair. The chair doesn't move, the dwarf doesn't stir, but it feels like someone has dropped a boulder on your foot. You draw away and nurse your wounds. Okay. Let's look at this. There's an alarm. 2 cup bells sit at the bottom of the panel. A striker is affixed beside each of them. Look at panel. It seems that this workstation is intended to monitor the ambient temperature. It includes both a temperature sensor and feedback gauge, and an alarm for emergency situations. Oh, temperature, huh? Well, I have some spells for that. Look at the sensor. This instrument physically senses the ambient temperature. The results are shown on the gauge beside it. Here's the gauge. The gauge includes a broader range of acceptable temperatures, but has a clearly defined red danger zone at the hotter extreme. A glowing figure stalks around outside of the caves, carefully listening for anything unusual. He guards the huge flying ship docked here. A huge flying vessel is dry docked just outside the dwarven caves. A ladder runs up its side. You begin to walk into the shadows of the cave, hoping to sneak by the glowing guard. Before you've taken more than a few steps, the guard cocks an ear in your direction and strides towards you. You quickly backpedal and eventually the guard stops following you. So we can't even get near the guards. So let's use magic on the sensor. Let's use heat. Since it only has the alarm set for hot temperatures. Does this work? Oh, it did something. You hang the heat rune construct in the air. As soon as you have completed the glowing lines of the spell, the temperature sensor begins to smoke. The gauge's needle jumps into the danger zone and the twin bell alarm sounds. This rudely awakens the sleeping dwarf, who immediately panics. The commotion attracts the glowing guard, who is covering his ears in pain. He screams at the dwarf to stop the alarm, but the dwarf appears as helpless as the guards. Okay, we can sneak into the ship now. You find it quite easy to sneak by the guard while he is busy trying to get the alarm to stop. The ship's deck overlooks the dwarven caves. A rope ladder drops to the ground and stairs lead elsewhere on the ship. Oh, what is this? Up and down? Huh. Haven't seen these directions before. Look at ladder. A rope ladder hangs down the side of the ship. It looks to be the easiest way to board and leave the ship. Wizard stuff. The wizard has collected a few papers and other bizarre objects, none of which has any use. There isn't much in the way of furniture in this room, but what is here is simple and poorly made. The jug is filled with a strong wine. Even the fumes make you feel rather heady. There are 3 figurines. All of them are miniature elves and they all glow brightly. Can I take one? The statuettes have been bolted to the small table under them, which has in turn been bolted to the floor. Standard procedure for a ship. The end result is that no matter how hard you try, you cannot take the figurines. Can I take the wine jug? I can. Look at more wizard stuff. Can I take the wizard stuff? Nothing looks useful or interesting. Look at the beds. The bed is solidly constructed from wood and bolted to the floor. The ship's wizard lies sprawled on a cot, snoring away. With every exhalation, you smell the strong odor of wine. Oh, you shake the wizard frantically. He leaps up in the bed, rubs the sleep from his eyes and stares at you. What is a human doing loose in my quarters? I'll have to take care of you quickly. A few quick spells render you unconscious, and when you wake up, you find yourself chained up in the ship's galley, doomed to a life of slavery.
What is a human doing?
Oh!
In my quarters,
Let's undo.
I'll have to take care of
Okay,
you
that
quickly.
is a great feature. The undo feature. Okay, I can actually fail. Okay, now I know. Let's look at the door. A door leads back out of the quarters and down the stairs to the okay, it just goes down. Slaves in this room power and guide the ship, with the help of magic provided by the ship's wizards. These slaves are the first you've ever seen of the mensch race called human, and you're a little taken aback by the similarity they have with your own people. Aside from their mongrel hair colors and their lack of heart runes, humans appear almost identical to Patryns. You might even be able to pass yourself off as one of their kinds. Okay, there are chains. The chains are thick and sturdy. They do their job well. Oars. The wooden devices poking from the hull are not exactly oars. They control the attitude and position of the ship's wings, which navigate the vessel when aloft. The benches are made of rough, unsanded wood. Clearly no pleasure to sit on for any length of time. Okay, let's talk to the Duke.
Who are you? Are you a slave? I don't recognize you and you aren't chained. I certainly hope you aren't an elf sympathizer.
I'm not a sympathizer. Then again, I'd say the same thing if I was.
Of course, that's true. I'll simply have to believe you. I don't have much choice. I've been here too long and hope is wearing thin. My name is Andrews. I'm King Stephen's cousin, a duke.
Why are you here?
It's a long story. I was leading my people against the elven forces on one of the smaller Volcarian isles. We were greatly overmatched, and they defeated us easily. They killed most of my army and took the rest as slaves, including myself. Luckily, they didn't recognize me as the king's cousin. I would be more valuable as a hostage for ransom than as a slave.
Why haven't you been rescued before now?
When elves capture humans, they divide them into small groups aboard their fleet of flying ships. That way, rebellions are manageable and usually non-existent. Aboard these ships, slaves are impossible to track. Even if there was a plan to rescue us, they'd never be able to single out this particular frigate.
Okay, he
If King
thought
Stephen
for a
knew you were
moment,
here,
then reached
could he
into the
rescue
lining
you?
of his
It's possible, I
tattered
suppose.
jacket and
If you can
produced
get
a
to my
gold
cousin and
signet
tell him
ring.
that I'm being held prisoner here on Drevlin, he would do everything in his power to rescue me. You'll need something to convince him, though. Go to Eulandia, the fourth island. Give this to the king. The ring should be enough to convince him to believe you.
Who are these other people?
Members of my army. Now, like myself, slaves to the elves. Although the ship is powered mostly by magic, it requires manpower to steer it. Following the elves' commands, we manipulate the ropes you see here, which change the attitude of the wings. That's what we do. That's all we do.
What's the story behind these gods?
Drevlin is important because the Kixie Winsey, as these dwarves call it, pumps out water as a byproduct to whatever else it does. Water is scarce throughout the realms. In order to control this water source, the elves have convinced these gullible dwarves that they are gods. Their claim is based on a simple glow spell dreamed up by the ship's wizard. The crew is very small,
that's
only
very
about 4 or
interesting.
5
So,
elves, but they are
if I
spread
can get
thin
rid of the
throughout
glow
caverns. In
on
order to maintain the
the
spell, the wizard has created miniature
the glow on the
statues that he uses
statues,
as substitutes. He keeps them all
that
aboard the
might
ship
just
in one
do the
place.
trick.
As long as the glow spell lasts on the statues, no matter where the elves are, they continue to glow, and the dwarves continue to believe that the elves are gods.
Oh, I can now go there. We've unlocked a location. The slaves don't even look in your direction. Perhaps they are afraid of elven reprisals. More likely,
That's
they're
all.
just too
Thanks for the
tired for
information.
As you
conversation.
wish. But I can only hope that you will return to aid us.
So how would I... Maybe if I destroy them? Save over here. If I cast a spell... could I use identify? The figurines have been subjected to a glow spell. The statuettes represent the elves stationed inside the dwarves' tunnels. So not only does the spell keep the statuettes glowing, it keeps the elves glowing as well. Didn't Czar mention that if I saw a object with magic, I could learn the spell? Maybe it has to be a different kind of object. So could I... What does heat do exactly? Could I burn the statuettes? Okay, the figurines continue to glow though. So whatever we use on the figurines, it has the same effect on the elves. They're not cold.
Ouch! 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 Hot!
No. Maybe I just put a black shirt on top of the figurines? The light is bright enough to shine through the shirt despite its color. Wine jug on the figurines. Marmalades? No. Okay, let's leave. The guard has returned to his post. You'll never get as far as the dwarven cave with the guard there. Oh. Oh. Okay, so... now what? Maybe I can... cast a spell on the panel. Maybe I can cast it from here. Heat. Does this work? Even from this distance, you can vaguely make out the vital parts of the panel. You send the heat spell against the center and predictably, the alarm goes off, the dwarf starts screaming and the figure leaves his post. Okay. So only one more tunnel. And there are 2 of them here. I don't think I can do anything while these guys are here, though. Look at Digger. The bizarre object sits idle on the floor. It has a giant drill-like front end. You don't see any way to control it. You can't get a good look at the controls from here, and you dare not show yourself with the gods in the room. Yeah, we probably can't do anything. Pipes and other metal fixtures run along and through the wall. They connect the control panel with the rest of the continent-sized machine. Yeah, I probably can't do anything. So since we unlocked a location, let's perhaps go there. Steering wheel. To King Stephen's castle. Off to the north you see a splendid castle, although it is built more like a fortress. 2 sentries guard this gate to the castle. A path winds around the castle wall. The king's forest is comprised of a combination of wild and cultivated trees. Okay, let's talk to the guards.
Why are you sneaking around on royal grounds, knave? What's your business here?
I don't have time to speak with subordinates. Let me through. I'm on a royal mission.
You don't have time to talk to me, huh? What a coincidence. I've just used up all of the time I've allotted for this conversation. Have a nice trip back to wherever you came from. Just make sure you start your journey very quickly. What do you want now?
I'm here to see the king. Would you tell him I'm here?
You and everyone else in the kingdom. Now, if I start making special trips to tell the king you're here, I'll have to do it for everyone else. If you had real business with the king, you'd have an appointment. Now just turn around and go back the way you came.
You don't understand. The king isn't expecting me, but I've got to see
Well,
him. His
I
cousin
do
is in
have
danger.
this
Is he
ring.
in danger of running out of money? He must be pretty desperate if he's enlisting help from the
You
likes
hand the
of
duke's
you.
ring to the nearest
Do you have
guard.
any
He
proof
examines it
aside note
carefully,
from
then
the
eyes you with
duke?
suspicion.
Anything?
Somewhat forcefully, he offers to escort you inside.
Let me think about
It doesn't seem to
Sure,
you that you
do
have
that.
much choice.
If you pull
Soon
anything
you
out of
enter the
air that
royal
supports
throne
your
room.
story, you be sure and hand it over. Until then, you'd
You
better be
stand
on
in
your
front
way.
of King Stephen himself. Once a renowned warrior, he is older now but remains a powerful and formidable man. He shuns royal robes in favor of battle armor, as if he's ready to lead his troops to war at any second. He sits comfortably on the throne and looks at you with a light smile. Beside him hovers a brown-robed wizard. He casually introduces himself as Trian, the royal magician, but at the same time he watches you warily.
What do we have here? A brigand who's stolen my cousin's signet ring? Someone who has kidnapped the Duke? What do you want from me, ransom? I must warn you, I don't deal with traitors to the crown. It's hard to talk business with someone who's missing a head. Now that we've dispensed
You
with the
explain
preliminaries,
Duke Andrews
tell me
is
why you're
rotting
here.
in the slave galleon Drevlin. You're quick to add that you can't guarantee how long the ship will remain
Your
there.
cousin gave
You
it to me to
suggest that the king
substantiate my
send his
story.
forces
If
to
you'll
rescue the
allow
Duke
me
immediately.
A couple words between threats, I'll relate the facts.
Indulge yourself, my friend. I'm all ears.
Well, it's like this.
I appreciate the information, but there's little I can do. Drevlin is the elves' main source of water. They guard it jealously. My armies wouldn't make it anywhere near the ship that Andrews is trapped aboard. There is another way. If my cousin is out of the elves' clutches, we will be able to free him. Somehow you have a way to get in and out of Drevlin undetected. Return there, get that slave ship to lift off, to go back to the Tribus Empire. I don't know how, but you must do it. Their ships traditionally follow a route through space that I control. We will set an ambush for it. As soon as we see the frigate, we'll box it in. Those ships are usually manned by skeleton crews. We shouldn't have any trouble wresting control. After the ship is ours, we'll bring it here and free all of the
The
slaves
guards, a
on
little
board.
less roughly this time,
cousin.
escort you out of
You
castle
are now my agent.
and back
If
to
you
the
are
main
able to
gates.
pull this off,
Can I
I'll
speak with him
make it
again?
worth your while. I'll inform my men that you represent my authority, just so you won't run into any trouble. We are at war, you know, and my men are very suspicious of potential spies.
Alright,
Good luck, my friend.
can I climb the
I hope to
trees?
see you back here soon.
Okay, King's Forest, here's a path. Can I follow the path? I can.
Just because King
There are some
Stephen made
bushes.
you an agent and gave you
The bushes
run
on
of
the king's
palace
ground are
doesn't
well
mean
kept,
I
but
have
look a
to
little
like
rough,
you.
as if it's
You
been
can
a
do what
while
you
since
want,
the
but
gardener
leave
has worked
us
on them.
alone.
There's a shear, I can take it.
Hey,
It may
stay away
come
from the
handy
trees.
later.
This isn't a playground.
You trim one of the nearest bushes into the shape of a strange bird, standing on one long thin leg. For some reason, its color looks wrong now. Can I climb this tree? You scamper up the nearest tree, scrape your knee, bang your head and fall down on your backside. All in all, the experience you were hoping for. Okay, the path just goes back here, so what is this? Open the shutter. Through a crack between the shutter and the wall, you spy a stout bar on the other side. It holds the shutter closed, so this bar. Could I use the shear? Yeah, lift the bar with the shear. You slide the garden shear into the crack made by the warped shutter just under the bar on the other side. With a quick flick of your wrist, you lift the bar out of its brace and send it clattering to the floor. Is this another way to enter the castle? Where am I? As you start to swing open the shutter, you see someone enter the room beyond. You close the shutter to its original position to watch the approaching figure through the crack. When he gets further into the room, you recognize him as Trian, King Stephen's royal wizard. Trian or Trian? I'll go with Trian. Trian walks up to a tapestry hung on the wall and with a fluid expert motion weaves a rune construct in the air. The spell sinks into the tapestry and somehow changes the image. It looks perhaps a bit more real than it did before. Trian then walks right into the picture, becomes part of it. He speaks with another figure inside, an elf prisoner in a dungeon, and then departs, both the tapestry and the room. Immediately, the tapestry fades back to a dull imitation of reality, no longer a doorway into another world. You have learned a spell. So what spell have I learned? Oh, I have learned more runes. Create reality pockets. So can I make... I can definitely make a circle there. What is this one? Oh, I see. This probably doesn't help me. So can I go in there now? I can. Candle holder. Okay, we got a candle holder, that's nice. Can I take a glow lamp? Permanent part of the room. Let's look at the books. An ancient book, it speaks about the building of the Tower of the Brotherhoods. You scan through the collection of books but find only one that interests you, a tome entitled Tower of the Brotherhoods. Okay, we'll check out the rest of this room and this book next time. For now, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed some more Deathgate, and as usual, don't miss the next episode, because I won't. I will see you all next time.